This is a familiar story, perhaps too familiar that we forget the impact it has on people today. I want to leave you with a thought. Are you willing to do what is unpopular to accomplish the unforgettable? Let me say that again. Are you willing to do what is unpopular today to accomplish the unforgettable? I want to give you a picture of Jesus doing what was very unpopular, but still to this day, it's unforgettable. It's found in John chapter 2, verse 13. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. And when he had making a scourge of small cords, he drove them out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables. And he said to them that sold doves, Take these things hence, make not my Father's house a house of merchandise. And the disciples remembered, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. Wow. Jesus did the unpopular, and it's a moment we'll never forget. I don't know about you, but I've found in my spiritual journey that doing the unpopular, we would all agree it's not easy, but can I say that one of the most hardest and difficult places to do the unpopular is among Christians, is in God's church. When we see things that God's Word says are an abomination, that this shall be called a house of prayer, when we see man with all his wisdom doing these church things that appear real popular, when the message of the gospel of Christ does not preach the cross and Christ crucified and sin, these are the things that ought to grieve our heart, when we ought to do what is unpopular, because it will call to remembrance the unforgettable of what Jesus was willing to do. You see, Jesus faced the same temptations as you and me. Here he is in the temple. He wants everybody to admire him. He wants to be well spoken of, but not at the risk of not doing what God his Father told him to do and to preach. And my challenge to you and me today is there are going to be people around us that are doing things that are wrong. Will we be willing to do the unpopular to accomplish the unforgettable? I pray that we will use discernment and wisdom and fear God more than man and be willing to do what Jesus did.